All right, let's dive right in to today's deep dive, taking a look at all the cyber activity from January 12, 2025.
Buckle up.
It's a bit of a wild one out there,
Yeah, it is.
especially with this new AI-powered ransomware group, FunkSec. I mean, they came out of nowhere this month, and they already have something like 80 victims.
80 victims just in 1 month.
Yeah.
That's an insane rate of attack. And you know what makes it even more strange is that we don't even really know what they're after.
Yeah.
The ransom demands haven't been all that high, and they're not really targeting any specific industry or anything like that.
So not like your typical smash and grab ransomware operation.
Right. Some analysts are even saying that they might be more into disruption than profit.
Yeah, it's almost like
It's just a scary
whole breed of cybercrime, right?
Yeah.
Where chaos is the goal.
It's kind of like a throwback, right, to the early days of hacking, where it was all about,
Notoriety.
Yeah, notoriety, bragging rights, pushing the limits,
Absolutely.
But with a lot more destructive power now.
And the fact that they're using AI to develop the malware is just another level of
Adds a whole other layer of complexity to this, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's complexity and a little bit scary because it just shows you how easy it's becoming to access this advanced technology.
I mean, even relatively unskilled attackers can get their hands on some pretty powerful tools these days. Right. And that's why, you see moves like Darktrace acquiring Cado Security recently, which is
Oh, yeah, that was a big one.
Yeah, that's the industry taking this threat very, very seriously.
Yeah, and Cado.
Yeah.
Because they were known for that rapid incident response.
Yeah. They're known for their speed.
Especially in the cloud.
Right. Especially in cloud environments, which is where, a lot of these attacks are happening these days.
So that's a strategic move on Darktrace's part.
That tells you where the industry's placing its bets.
Yeah.
Right? Speed and precision are going to be paramount in this new AI-driven threat landscape.
Speed and precision. Well, speaking of speed, let's move over and talk about data breaches for a second.
Right.
Bank of America just announced a breach affecting over 400 individuals.
Over 400.
Yeah. And the culprit was a third-party vendor.
Oh, this is a story we hear all the time, right?
All the time.
Companies invest all this money in their own cybersecurity, but they often forget about the vulnerabilities in their vendor networks.
Yeah, they overlook that.
It can be incredibly costly.
Incredibly costly oversight.
Yeah.
We're talking social security numbers, passport details, mortgage data. I mean, it's just...
That's a goldmine for identity thieves.
A treasure trove for identity thieves, yeah.
This is a wake-up call.
A huge wake-up.
For organizations of all sizes to really scrutinize their vendor relationships and really implement stringent third-party risk assessments.
Yeah. You can't just trust. You got to verify.
Exactly.
Make sure they're adhering to the same standards that you are as a company.
And it's not just financial institutions we need to worry about either.
Right.
Look at what happened with Gravy Analytics.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
Location data from millions of smartphone users was exposed.
Millions. Gravy Analytics. Now they're a data broker, and they've been kind of on our radar for a while now.
Yeah, they've been under scrutiny for their data collection practices for some time now.
Yeah.
And this just adds fuel to that fire.
Yeah, and it brings up this whole conversation for comprehensive federal privacy legislation.
Right. It raises a lot of serious questions about how these companies are collecting, storing, and securing our data.
It really feels like this breach could be a tipping point.
Right?
Yeah. Like the public is finally starting to understand
I think so too.
How valuable their data is and how vulnerable it is.
We need stronger laws to protect consumer privacy in this digital age.
Yeah, the patchwork of state laws just isn't...
It's not enough. We need a federal standard.
Yeah.
Something that sets clear expectations for data security and privacy.
Absolutely. Now, this kind of leads us to another key development that happened. President Biden's new executive order.
Oh, right.
On cybersecurity.
The one mandating enhanced software security standard.
That's the one.
Yeah.
This is a direct response to all these escalating cyber threats that we've been talking about.
It makes sense. They're trying to close those security gaps that have been exploited in these recent high-profile attacks, especially the ones linked to,
nation-state actors.
Nation-state actors, yeah.
But do you think this executive order goes far enough?
I mean, it's a step in the right direction.
Okay.
But, the cyber landscape is constantly changing, right?
Yeah.
Our adversaries are constantly innovating. It's a game of cat and mouse, and I worry that we're always going to be one step behind.
I think that's a really good point. It's a step in the right direction.
Yeah.
But we can't afford to become complacent.
Exactly.
We have to always be reassessing our defenses.
Right.
And adapting to the threat landscape.
Absolutely.
Which is always changing.
And we need to remember that these threats aren't just coming from nation states either.
Oh, absolutely. You're right.
I mean, look at what happened in Slovakia recently.
Slovakia?
Yeah. Their geodesy, cartography, and cadastro office was hit with a massive cyber attack.
Yeah, it was huge.
Huge.
They said it was the largest they'd ever suffered.
It essentially paralyzed land and property transactions and disrupted vital municipal services.
Yeah, it was crippling.
Crippling.
No one's really claimed responsibility, but a lot of people are saying it could be linked to the...
Yeah, there's speculation it could be connected to those geopolitical tensions with Ukraine.
Yeah.
Which really underscores the fact that cyberspace has become a battleground, doesn't it?
It really has.
I mean, the lines between nation states, criminal organizations, and hacktivist groups are getting blurrier all the time.
They really are.
It's a complex web, and the implications are far-reaching.
Yeah, and it feels like the bad guys are constantly finding new ways to exploit our trust.
Oh, absolutely.
Like take that PayPal phishing campaign that's been going around.
Oh, that one's nasty.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
What's scary about that is that they're actually using legitimate PayPal URLs to get around the security checks.
They are. And the emails look so real.
And they
Even to a trained eye,
Yeah.
It's a reminder that anyone can fall victim to these scams.
Absolutely. Because we place so much trust in these big-name brands.
Oh, they do.
And these criminals know that.
They know how to exploit that trust.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a sobering thought.
It is. It also makes me think about, those Microsoft DRM flaws.
Oh, right.
Were just discovered.
Even systems designed to protect us can have vulnerabilities, can't they?
They can.
Yeah.
They can. And the whole debate around, whether that researcher should have disclosed those flaws publicly, I mean, it really highlights the ethical
It's a tough one, isn't it?
dilemmas that come up.
Yeah. On one hand, you have a responsibility to report these vulnerabilities so they can be fixed.
Right.
But on the other hand, delaying that disclosure could put users at risk.
Absolutely.
It's a tricky balance. There's no easy answer.
And it also brings up questions about, intellectual property rights, the effectiveness of bug bounty programs, the impact of disclosure on user safety.
Yeah, it's just a conversation the industry needs to have.
Absolutely. Yeah. But, let's end this section on a positive note.
Okay.
I was really fascinated by that story about the New York Attorney General's office using NFTs to recover that stolen cryptocurrency.
Oh, I didn't see that one.
Oh, it's a good one.
Yeah.
They got $2 million back.
Wow.
That was stolen through a remote job scam.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. Talk about thinking outside the box.
Yeah, they froze the assets and served notices via NFTs. That's amazing.
It is.
Yeah.
And it just shows that law enforcement is really starting to get more creative in their approach to fighting
creative
cybercrime.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I love it. It's a sign that they're adapting to the challenges of this digital world.
Absolutely. It's a small victory, but a significant one.
It is.
For sure.
It is.
Yeah.
I mean, it is encouraging to see law enforcement getting a little more innovative with their tactics.
Yeah.
But it also reminds us that even with all these advancements and everything, the basics are still so important.
Yeah.
Like, look at that cyber attack on the Nova Scotia school system.
Oh, yeah. That one was a little surprising.
You wouldn't think student data from, before 2010 would be a high-value target.
Right.
But it goes to show you that any data can be valuable to someone.
Absolutely.
It really highlights the need for good data retention policies. Why are they even keeping data that old?
Yeah.
And if they are going to keep it, they need to make sure it's secure, no matter how outdated those systems might seem.
Yeah, that's a
You know what I mean?
a big lesson.
Yeah.
And in this case, the breach, it affected the PowerSchool platform.
PowerSchool.
Yeah, which is a cloud-based system that's used by a lot of schools
Oh, wow.
across North America.
So that's concerning.
Yeah.
That highlights the need for really good cloud security measures.
Yeah.
Especially for organizations that are dealing with sensitive personal data.
Yeah.
Like student records.
Absolutely.
Schools often have very limited resources for cybersecurity, which makes them prime targets.
Yeah, they're easy targets.
Easy targets.
Absolutely.
So this is a wake-up call for any institution that might be
Yeah.
lagging behind on cybersecurity best practices.
For sure.
Yeah. And it also kind of circles back to what we were talking about earlier about those third-party risk assessments.
Yeah.
Schools need to make sure that any platform they use, especially those that are hosted in the cloud,
Yeah.
meet really strong security standards.
Couldn't agree more. And circling back to another conversation we were having, I can't stop thinking about those Microsoft DRM flaws
Oh, right.
and that whole issue with the researcher and whether they should have disclosed those flaws publicly.
Yeah, it's a really interesting case study in the ethics of responsible disclosure.
Yeah.
You have this duty to report vulnerabilities so they can be patched.
Yeah.
But you also have to think about public safety and whether delaying that disclosure could put users at even greater risk.
Yeah, and there's no easy answer.
There isn't.
It's not an easy decision to make.
No. And it raises a lot of questions.
It does.
About intellectual property rights, the role of bug bounty programs,
Yeah.
the impact of disclosure on user safety. It's complicated.
It's very complex.
It is. And let's not forget about the potential financial losses
Right.
for companies like Netflix and Amazon Prime.
Okay.
If those flaws were exploited on a large scale,
Yeah.
unauthorized downloads could have a massive impact on their bottom line.
Yeah. Not to mention damage to user trust.
Right.
If people don't feel like their content is secure,
Yeah.
they're going to be less likely to subscribe.
They might go somewhere else.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's a reminder that cybersecurity is about more than just preventing data breaches.
Yeah.
It's about protecting intellectual property
Yeah.
and maintaining the integrity of these digital ecosystems.
Absolutely. Well, while the industry figures out those ethical dilemmas and complexities,
Right.
at least law enforcement is stepping up and getting creative
Yeah.
in their fight against cybercrime. I still can't get over that New York Attorney General's office
Yeah.
using NFTs
Oh, yeah, that was brilliant.
in that cryptocurrency scam case.
Freezing the assets
That
and
is
serving notices through NFTs.
So smart.
Talk about turning the tables on the scammers.
Yes.
I love it. It's a great example of authorities using these new technologies to combat cybercrime,
Yeah.
even in that world of cryptocurrency, which can be so difficult to track.
Right, right. And it sends a really strong message to cybercriminals
It does.
that they can't just hide behind the anonymity of the blockchain forever.
It shows them that we're watching and that
Yeah.
we're coming for them.
And it also highlights the importance of collaboration
Right, absolutely.
between law enforcement, tech companies,
Yeah.
cybersecurity experts.
This isn't something that any one entity can solve on their own.
Yeah.
We need a united front to really effectively combat cybercrime.
Absolutely. We've covered so much today.
I know, rush
From AI-powered ransomware to data breaches, government regulations, the ethical quandaries of cybersecurity research.
It's been a wild ride
It really has. It's
through the threat landscape.
a wild ride through the threat landscape, and it's clear that the stakes
The stakes are high.
are higher than ever.
Yes, they are.
As we kind of wrap up this section,
Right.
I think the main takeaway here is that you have to stay informed
Yeah,
and you have to be proactive.
I completely agree.
Yeah.
Cybersecurity is constantly changing.
Yeah.
You can't afford to be complacent.
Absolutely.
You got to be vigilant, adapt your strategies, and utilize every resource that's available to you.
And that's where Cybersecurity HQ comes in,
Oh, absolutely.
right?
Our platform offers a ton of information, resources, tools
Everything.
to help you stay ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
From in-depth analysis and breaking news to job postings, reports on emerging threats.
We got you covered.
We got you covered.
Yeah.
And don't forget our weekly newsletter,
Oh, yeah.
read by over 70,000 professionals.
Every week.
Every week, it's packed with insights and analysis that you won't find anywhere else.
No clue.
So sign up today and join the Cybersecurity HQ community.
It's funny. It's almost ironic. We're talking about all these increasingly sophisticated cyber attacks.
Right.
But sometimes it's those simple scams
Yeah,
that are the most effective.
it's true.
Right.
And it all comes back to that human
The
element.
human element?
We are the weakest link in the cybersecurity chain.
Absolutely. Case in point, that remote job scam.
Oh, right.
Yeah, that we're talking about.
Classic social engineering.
It's a classic.
Yeah.
I mean, they prey on people's desire for financial gain.
Right. Create a sense of urgency,
Yeah.
and then boom, they hand over their money.
Yeah, it's sad and it's frustrating
It is.
because they used what seemed like a legitimate platform.
Right, which just goes to show you,
Yeah.
you can't blindly trust any platform,
You really can't.
no matter how reputable it seems. Always do your due diligence, research the company,
Yeah.
look for any red flags.
Just your gut.
Trust your instincts.
Yeah.
If you have any doubts at all,
Yeah.
don't hesitate to reach out to a trusted source for advice.
Absolutely. And speaking of trusted sources,
Yes.
another shout out to Cybersecurity HQ.
There you go.
Right.
Whether you're a seasoned professional
Yeah.
or you're just getting started in cybersecurity,
Doesn't matter.
Cybersecurity HQ has everything you need to stay informed
Yeah.
and ahead of the game.
And ahead of the game.
Yeah. Our team of experts provide in-depth analysis,
Yep.
breaking news coverage, practical advice to help you navigate this constantly evolving threat landscape.
We also have a great job board
Oh, that's right.
connecting top talent
Yeah.
with companies all over the world.
All over the world.
And of course, the weekly newsletter
Mm.
read by over 70,000 professionals every week.
That's right. It's your one-stop shop
One-stop shop.
for the latest insights, trends, and analysis.
Head over to Cybersecurity HQ today.
Yeah.
Join our community
Join the community.
of passionate cybersecurity professionals.
We'd love to have you.
Okay, that brings us to the end of our deep dive into the cybersecurity news for January 12th, 2025.
Wow.
It's been a very informative episode, I think.
It has been.
Full of insights
Yeah.
and also those sobering reminders about the threats we're facing.
It's a lot.
It is. It is.
But, like we've been talking about,
Yeah,
awareness is key.
absolutely.
By staying informed, vigilant, proactive,
Yeah.
we can really mitigate these risks
Yeah.
and protect ourselves and our organizations.
Cybersecurity is a shared responsibility.
It is.
It's not just on the IT department. It's on everyone.
We all have a role to play in creating a safer digital world.
I love that.
Mm,
Let's continue to learn, collaborate, innovate
absolutely.
to stay one step ahead of the bad guys.
To stay ahead of the game.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Until next time, stay safe out there.
Yeah.
It's crazy how effective they can still be.
It really is.
Even with all the technology and all the advancements that we have.
Well, it all comes back to human nature, right?
Yeah.
We're naturally trusting.
Right.
We crave connection.
Yeah.
And we're always looking for that easy path, that shortcut. And
Right.
and scammers, they know that. They bank on that.
They absolutely do.
They know how to exploit those emotions and
Yeah.
those vulnerabilities.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's something that we have to just constantly be aware of.
Be aware of.
Yeah.
Education
Education is key.
is key.
Yeah,
We
absolutely.
need to arm ourselves
Yeah.
and our colleagues
Right.
with the knowledge and the tools to be able to spot these things.
Yeah. Spot the scams.
Stop the scams.
Avoid falling victim.
And avoid falling victim to them.
Exactly.
Because, it's a reminder that cybersecurity, it's not just about the technology. No, it's not.
It's about people.
It's about people
It's about processing.
and processes. It's
Yeah.
about the whole picture.
It's about the whole picture.
Yeah.
A strong cybersecurity posture really needs that multifaceted
Yeah.
approach, right?
Absolutely. Technology, training, and a culture of awareness.
A culture of awareness.
Right.
Well said. And for anyone out there who's looking to, build their cybersecurity expertise or advance their career in this field,
Mhm.
that is always changing.
Yeah.
Remember, Cybersecurity HQ is your go-to
Have to be
resource.
Right.
Cybersecurity HQ offers a ton of great information.
Tons.
In-depth analysis, breaking news coverage, job postings, detailed reports on all the emerging threats.
If you want to stay ahead of the game,
You got to check out that weekly newsletter.
that weekly newsletter,
Read by over 70,000 professionals.
70,000 every week.
Every week.
Yeah.
Packed with insights and analysis that you're not going to find anywhere else.
Nope.
So join the Cybersecurity HQ community today.
Yeah, become a part of it. Become part of that network
Yeah.
of passionate cybersecurity professionals.
Dedicated to staying informed and
Yeah.
protecting our digital world.
Absolutely.
Well, that brings us to the end of our deep dive into the cybersecurity news for January 12, 2025.
Wow.
It's been a wild ride.
It has.
It really has. A
Yeah.
lot of information.
We covered a lot of ground.
We covered a lot of ground,
Dude.
highlighting the challenges,
Challenges.
but also, the opportunities
Went
in
to the
this ever-changing landscape.
We saw how AI is changing things for both the attackers
Yeah.
and the defenders.
Absolutely.
How data breaches are still a major problem
Still a problem.
for organizations of all sizes.
Yeah.
And how governments and law enforcement agencies are really stepping up their game
Yeah.
to try to combat cybercrime.
They are. But But I think the main takeaway for everyone listening today is this: cybersecurity is everyone's responsibility. It's not just the IT department's job.
We all have to play a role in creating a safer digital future.
I love that. Stay informed, stay vigilant, stay proactive.
Absolutely.
And we can mitigate these risks.
Agree with this?
And create a safer digital world
Absolutely.
for ourselves and our organizations.
Yeah. Until next time, stay curious.
Stay curious.
Stay informed.
Stay informed.
Stay safe.
Stay safe.